OK tire protection plan included in the price. That's the OK difference.
Wade Boggs will lead off, back in the lineup after 2 days off, and his manager's glad he's there.
We need him in that 3 hole. You know, with Steve pitching especially, you know, you got a lot of right-hand hitters in a row. It's not too good. So with him at 3rd and Greenwell hitting 5th, we're not overloaded with lefties, as you know. So, but that's our best bet, I would say.
Boggs, a .304 hitter. Pretty low average for him, and not only is there a good chance he won't get 200 hits this year, better than average chance, but there's also that slim chance that this man could hit under 300.
That is remarkable even to consider that when you figure he came into the season batting .352 lifetime.
He's never had an average in a season below 300. Never remotely close to 304. Now he's up against Dave Stieb. Mixed emotions from this guy, I would say. A hit tonight for Boggs. He was 1 for his last 20 coming in. Steve has really settled in. Now he'll work to the middle of the order again. He retired this part of the order, Boggs, Burks, and Greenwell in order in the 3rd. And has now retired 11 straight Red Sox hitters. 1 ball, 1 strike.
This is very unusual. Look at Gruber at 3rd and then Bell in left. Bell is almost directly behind Gruber. That's very unusual. If nothing else, you'd like to make sure that George can see the hitter, but it looks like he's in a straight line behind Kelly Gruber. Gruber way off the line at 3rd, and Bell shaded over towards the line in left.
Fouled away, 2-2. Inside, fouled off, 2-2 count remains.
This is when Boggs really gets tough. When he's got 2 strikes on him, he stays back so well. Uses his hands and likes to drive the ball right over the shortstop's head.
Hangs into the foul ball, 2-2. 1-0, the Red Sox lead.
Felt that you were better off to get Boggs to pull the ball on something slow where he'd roll his wrist over the top, and 9 times out of 10 you'd get a ground ball. The last couple of years the Blue Jays have pitched him away and played him away, just like Bell in left field and Mookie Wilson was in left center.
In the 3rd they got him to pull the ball to Fred McGriff. Here's the full count pitch. Fly ball. Field, Junior Felix going back. It's gone. Home run, Wade Boggs. They got him to pull the ball.
This is a breaking ball. Down and in, and boy, did he stay all over that pitch. That pitch may have been low, but he drives it home run number 6. Way back in the bullpen. And Wade Boggs is certainly taking advantage of 2 days off.
Now the curtain call finally satisfies the fans as Steve works to Ellis Burks. First home run for Wade Boggs since the 28th of June against Toronto. Todd Stottlemyre gave up his 5th.
The top 3 spots in the Red Sox lineup have only hit 3 home runs, now 4 since July 27th. They simply haven't hit the long ball.
Little insurance for Mike Boddicker. 2-0 Red Sox lead. Ellis Burks. 1 ball, 1 strike. An appeal. Drew Como at first, and Burks didn't go around. 2 balls and 1 strike. Steves, 2-1 to Burks. 3 balls and a strike. This is Steves' 4th engagement with the Red Sox. He's 1-0 with 2 no decisions in the 3 games so far. And trailing here, the 3-1 pitch to Ellis Burks. Strike, full count. The good news in that is that the only 2 times the Blue Jays have defeated the Red Sox this season, Dave Steve has been the starting pitcher. 3-2 hit on the ground, and Tony Fernandez knocked it down, picks it up, can't get it over in time.
Only the 9th error for Fernandez this year, but he told me before the game that this ground is uneven, and right there's a hump in front of Fernandez. He played it off his chest, but Burks with good speed beats it out at first. Another look at it, you can see that he was very tentative as that ball approached him. He gets to it quickly, but not in time. Tony feels that this infield is a bit wavy and uneven.
His first error in 28 games. Following tonight's game, we'll select the Labatt's player of the game for the Red Sox on behalf of Canon's new Sure Shot. Fully automatic with standard lens and the amazing new push-button wide-angle lens. Don't just get the picture, get the whole wide-angle picture with the new Sure Shot. Cash donation will be made to the Canadian Special Olympics on behalf of the Red Sox player of the game and Canon. Man on for Mike Greenwell. 2-0 Sox. Nobody out. In this bullpen, renowned as one of the toughest to work in the league, Wayne Warren is up. Tough because of its close proximity to these rabid Red Sox fans.
These fans are right on top of you, and they're very knowledgeable. They know everything. Nicknames, middle names, ERA. How many you walked last week?
Just a few friendly baseball fans getting close to their friendly rivals.
One thing you don't want to do is get in an argument with them. You just got to ignore them.
Mentioned before, these are not the Goldo Sox. Boston has stolen only 49 bases. They've been caught stealing more than they've stolen. But if there's a man on the team that can run, it's Burks. Line to center field. Mookie Wilson makes the catch. Burks is back to first. There's the first out of the inning.
Greenwell goes out over the plate. There's a breaking ball that stays up in that hitting area. That's a hanger. And boy, Greenwell stayed right on it, but hit it right at Mookie Wilson.
Lead for Joe Morgan over Cito Gaston. Dwight Evans up. as far as Boggs. Caught by Felix. He gets the ball in 2 away. Burks leads the Red Sox with 9 stolen bases. And Tom Brunansky is up. Bottom of the 6th inning, 2-0.
Excuse me, Jim. If you're going to gamble, now's the time to gamble. With 2 outs, got a 2-run lead. Try to read Steve and get a good jump.
Borders is one of the best in the league at throwing out base runners. A shot to center field. And gone. Home run Brunansky, a 2-run shot.
They picked up Tom Brunansky for. That's a slider that stayed inside the inner half of the plate. All Mookie can do is hope there's a carom, but not this time as it gets into the center field seats.
3 runs in the inning on home runs. An error and a home run. A deadly combination that's given the Red Sox a 4-0 lead.
Sox hitters never adjusted. They never switched over and looked for the fastball off Steve. They stayed on the breaking ball. Boggs hit a breaking ball, and Brunansky hit a breaking ball. They never went for the fastball.
What a hard cut by Pena, who's known for a few of those. Pounded back a ball to the strike. The 11th home run of the season for Tom Brunansky. With Burks aboard. On the error by Tony Fernandez, his first error in 28 games. And it's 4-0 Sox. Up and into Pena. 2 balls and a strike. Meantime, Mike Boddicker has given up only 2 hits. And now has a 4-0 lead, at least, to work with. To Pena. Fouled away, full count. Pena exploded after a loss in Baltimore. Banged a couple of chairs, called some teammates quitters. Later apologized for his timing because he exploded when all of the reporters were in the clubhouse. And apologized for his choice of words because he said he really didn't mean to call them quitters. Now he's gone. And Steve is out of the 6th inning. But the Red Sox scored 3 runs on 2 hits. Both of them home runs, one by Boggs, one by Brunansky. And through 6, Boston has the lead, 4-0. This is Labatt's Blue Jays baseball on TSN.
Play Walt Disney World Baseball Magic at A&P and Dominion. Win a trip for 2 to Orlando, Florida, home of MGM Studios theme park. All trips provided by Canadian Holidays, a world of vacations. Win up to $25,000 in Thomas Cook MasterCard traveler's checks. Win a Honda Civic hatchback. Honda, the official car of the Toronto Blue Jays. Or this English refrigerator, a Kuahara bicycle, or a spell checker from Texas Instruments. Libby's frozen vegetables. Enjoy the garden fresh taste. And Hostess, when you've got the munchies, nothing else will do.
Okay, Blue Jays, knock their socks off.
You're crazy. You are dreaming. The Sox are going to totally dominate this year. Give me a break. You know, Toronto, that's Canadian. It's foreign, you know?
Oh, forget the Blue Jays. I have nothing to say about them because as far as I'm concerned, they could even match the Red Sox.
I tell them to do their homework.
I think we're going to stick it to the Toronto fans, and they'll be able to see the Red Sox will be on top.
Labatt's Blues salutes the Blue Jays for the way they play.
Gianni, che sorpresa!
Ciao papà, come stai?
Bene.
Senti, ti voglio far vedere una cosa, guarda.
Cos'è? Una Ferrari?
No, papà, Acura.
Acura?
Acura?
Welcome to New World Thinking. Aluminum body, chassis and midship engine, handcrafted. The NSX from Acura.
You're watching the Blue Jays on TSN from Fenway Park in Boston. I'm Jim Houston with Buck Martinez as Fred McGriff steps in to face Mike Boddicker in the 7th inning, and the Blue Jays trail 4-0. Dave Steve trailing 4-0, hasn't won in his last 3 and needs some offense to snap that streak now. McGriff is a single. He's hit the ball hard twice. And he's had a great career against Boston. His average against Boston is higher than against any other team in the league. For some reason, he loves to hit against the Red Sox, and he's got a leadoff base hit in the 7th.
Fred's hit the ball hard all 3 times up tonight. He's seeing the ball very well against Boddicker. Unfortunately for Boddicker at this point, no one has been on base. McGriff has shortened up his stance. He's brought his feet together, and that allows him to get out and hit that ball over the front leg. Before, he was so spread apart, he had no weight transfer. But he shortened up that batting stance.
Bell has 1 hit for this season at Fenway Park. And hasn't had a hit since Monday night when he went 5 for 5 against the Brewers. Popped up and flied out tonight. Foul, 1 ball, 1 strike. Just to set the rest of the weekend for you, Clemens against Stottlemyre. Tomorrow, Greg Harris against Jimmy Key to finish off the weekend. Two balls, 1 strike to George Bell.
Larry Anderson on the left, Jeff Gray on the right. They both worked a lot here recently for the Red Sox. Anderson obtained from Houston in a deal for minor leaguer Jeff Bagwell. And Anderson has been outstanding. Wednesday night, his 12th appearance for the Red Sox, the first time he surrendered a run.
One of those forgotten men, a middleman, and one of the best in the game. Bell's aboard. He's hit by Boddicker. First hit batsman of the game. Bit of a surprise in that Stephen Boddicker hit so many.
Well, Boddicker has to throw inside to protect the outside corner that's so important to his style of pitching, and you can see he just catches Bell on the forearm.
Well, now a great opportunity for the Blue Jays to answer the 3 runs that the Red Sox got in the top of the 6th, or bottom of the 6th. Here in the top of the 7th, a single and a hit batsman, 2 on, and a visit to the mound.
Bill Fisher, the pitching coach, with a slow stroll out to the mound to give the right-handers time to warm up down in the bullpen.
This is the situation they got Larry Anderson for. 7th inning, too early to go to Jeff Gray or Jeff Reardon in particular. You need a middleman to bridge the gap.
And he's been outstanding. Great slider. He's got a true slider. Thrown like a fastball, a little bit of a tilt on it, breaks about 8 inches. And he throws a lot of strikes. Great mid-season acquisition for the Red Sox, picking up Larry Anderson.
1st and 2nd, nobody out. John Oruda, 0 for 2 so far tonight, is grounded out and flied out to center. Ball 1 from Mike Boddicker. The 1-0. Strike 1 and 1.
Boddicker's the kind of guy that can really shut you down. He'll change patterns in the midstream, too, after you see so many breaking pitches. He'll start darting that fastball in on your hands.
That was in on the hands, but fouled off by Oruda. Ball and 2 strikes.
A lot of hitters will make adjustments throughout the course of the game, particularly after a couple of at-bats where you've seen breaking ball, change up, something off speed. Then they'll start to look for the off-speed pitches, and then Boddicker will come back in on your hands with that 82-mile-an-hour fastball, it'll look like 90 after you've seen so many breaking balls.
Here's the 1-2. Struck him out.
That's the fastball right there. You don't expect it from Boddicker. You stay back trying to make sure you don't jump out there. And look at this. 82, 83 miles an hour, but well located on the inside corner.
Pena to speak with Boddicker as Pat Porters gets set. And Porters will be called back. Rance Mullenix wasn't used as the designated hitter tonight so that John Olerud's bat could get in the lineup. Cito Gaston wanted to save Mullenix for just such an occasion.
Exactly. Rance has been more productive as a pinch hitter. And Cito doesn't have many veteran hitters off the bench, so he made sure that Mullenix stayed on the bench and got an opportunity just like this one where he could get his ball club back in the lineup. That's why he started John Olerud. Boddicker and Pena making sure that they have their heads together, wanting to know exactly how they're going to pitch him, and Boggs came in to check with Boddicker right there so he can position himself appropriately.
Mullenix is 7 for 20 as a pinch hitter. That computes to a .350 average coming off the bench. In for Porters in the 7th. This is the part of the order that's done a lot of damage for the Blue Jays lately. In Milwaukee, the bottom 4 in the order drove in 8 runs, while the top 5, including the middle of the order, drove in only 4. First and second, one out. All one. In fact, if you go back 9 games, the top 5 in the order have produced 11 runs batted in. Bottom 4 in the Blue Jays order, 20. 9 more than the big hitters at the top of the order. Rivera can't come up with a ball. There's another big pinch hit for Rance Mullenix. McGriff is in to score. The Jays, after 33 consecutive innings of scoreless ball against Boston, are on the board.
You just can't appreciate how productive Mullenix has been. This is a tough job against a very tough pitcher, and he takes it right back through the middle. Rivera can't come up with it. Yet another key pinch hit for the veteran Rance Mullenix. Just a fastball out over the plate. He drives it by Rivera into center field. First run for the Blue Jays, and maybe that'll get something going. But Gaston saved Mullenix until he got a pinch hitting roll. Got him up there, and now he's got Jim Eppert, another pinch hitter, up at the plate.
Eppert, one of the September call-ups, a 300 hitter in the minor leagues, with his 4th opportunity, and he's hit. Bases loaded. Eppert for Manny Lee is hit, and up comes Joe Morgan.
And that's going to be it for Mike Boddicker.
2 hits, 2-hit batsman, 1 away, bases loaded. And that'll be all for Boddicker.
This is a breaking ball, curveball. Look at Eppert. Just take one for the club.
Just couldn't get out of the way.
Tough break. But that'll be all for Boddicker, and that's pretty good news. Blue Jays really haven't been able to figure him out yet. They've only mustered 4 hits, but now the bad news is you got to face Larry Anderson. Anderson last pitched in the American League in 1982, so most of the Blue Jays have never faced him.
Mookie Wilson might be able to spread some knowledge along the Jays bench about Larry Anderson. Boddicker was cruising along into the 7th. He'd given up only 2 hits. And he's matched that total in the 7th and also hit 2 batters. Luis Sojo is in to run for Mullenix at second base. Bell's at third. Eppert is at first. Boddicker's out of the game. Four to 1 Boston. Houston tying run aboard, just went out. Larry Anderson on for Mike Boddicker. This pitching change is brought to you by the Industrial Tool Division of Black & Decker. No company builds better power tools for professionals. Larry Anderson, pitching out of that unheralded spot called middle relief. Been one of the best in the game at that position. Houston had the great starting staffs a few years ago that included Nolan Ryan and Deshays when he was coming on, and Scott, Bob Nepper. Anderson was the man who always bridged the gap to Dave Smith, who got as many saves as most relievers in the major leagues. Anderson was always setting him up.
It's a much more important role in the National League, where you got pitchers batting and you can bring a guy in like Anderson to pitch a couple innings in the middle of the game and hold the team. If you're behind, give your team a chance to get back in the game, or if you're ahead, like you say, bridge the gap until you can get to Dave Smith. And now in this situation, Jeff Reardon. A lot of sliders from Larry Anderson. He'll throw that slider down and away the right-handed hitters and crowd the left-handed batters with it as well. He's got a true slider. It's thrown very much like a football, and it'll be a white dot pointing right at you. Hard, tough to pick up the rotation. Last couple of years, he's really put together some low ERAs. Last year, 154. This year, around 179 before he came over in the deal.
Another change. Kenny Williams in to run for Everett at first. So Soho's in to run at second. Williams in to run at first. Bell stays, of course, at third base. Bases loaded with one away. Back in Larry Anderson's old league, Pittsburgh leaders by 3 in the National League East, up 3-1 over St. Louis, third inning. But New York keeping pace, leading 4-0 in the 6th. Doc Gooden on the mound for the Mets. Tied atop the American League East, Boston and Toronto. A 4-1 Boston lead in the 7th inning, and Larry Anderson, whose job for the Red Sox is comparable to that of Dwayne Ward's for the Blue Jays, is on to try and get to the closer. And he's got a big job ahead. Junior Felix up with the bases loaded.
Last year in June, Junior Felix hit an inside the park grand slam.
All one.
That was the cut fastball. The slider will break just a bit more than that. The Blue Jays have had advanced scout Dave Yoakum watching the Red Sox for the last 10 days. And he has sent word to Cito Gaston that Anderson is throwing hard and has a real good slider.
1-1 pitch to Junior Felix. On the ground, Rivera to Reed. Won't get 2. Bell is in to score. 4-2. The Red Sox lead as Junior Felix hits the ground ball to short.
It's important to get in 1 run here. And Felix with his good speed after he slaps at the shortstop. Rivera's got to go to his right to get the ball. Just not enough time to double up Junior Felix. So Felix gets the run in with the fielder's choice.
Soho is on third, Felix on first. 2 away for Mookie Wilson. A 2-run ball game. Ball 1.
Blue Jays couldn't ask for a better matchup. Wilson facing Larry Anderson, both spending a lot of time in the National League recently, so Mookie knows full well what he can expect from Larry Anderson.
2-0.
Anderson worked Wednesday night. 2 innings, gave up 3 hits. The first run he's allowed as a Red Sox pitcher, and then didn't go to Detroit. Joe Morgan left him home, knowing full well that he wasn't going to use him last night in Detroit.
Strike, 2 balls and a strike to Mookie Wilson. Wilson has grounded out twice, hit a fly ball to center fielder Burks in the 6th. 0 for 3 tonight. over his last 14. Here's the 2-1. Even up, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Soho at third, Junior Felix at first. Two on, 2 away. Top of the 7th. 2-2 pitch. Up the middle. Base hit for Mookie Wilson. Soho's in to score. It's a 1-run ball game. 4-3 Red Sox.
Just when things look so gloomy for the Blue Jays, they battle back and put 3 on the board thanks to Mookie Wilson slashing base hit to center field. Rivera just can't come up with it, just beyond his outstretched glove into center. And as Mookie's done all month long, he continues to come up with base hits that drive in runs in key situations.
Mookie Wilson gets his 50th run batted in, and Tony Fernandez is up. The Blue Jays are a base hit away from tying the ball game. Junior Felix, a good base runner. Speedy one at any rate at second. And Mookie Wilson at first. Inside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
There's no finesse about Larry Anderson. He throws a hard fastball and a hard slider. You just got to be ready because he's coming right at you. He's not trying to trick you. He's going to match your best.
Anderson's 1-1 pitch. Quintana hasn't hit his glove. Can't come up with it. The ball's into shallow right field. Felix scores. The game is tied 4-4.
Quintana just tipped it enough. He didn't come up with it, but he also made certain that Jody Reed couldn't make it. If you watch Reed behind Quintana, he's in a pretty good position to get this ball. Reed may have got that ball and had a play to Larry Anderson, but because Quintana tipped it, Reed had no chance.
Fernandez is awarded a base hit. First and third, 2 away. Now the Jays have a chance to take the lead. Fernandez is off and running. Pena's throw cut off. And Jody Reed was just watching Mookie Wilson, the runner at third base. Pena had to look at him too to make sure he wasn't breaking. Threw the ball to second. And Reed had no intention of going after Fernandez. He just caught the ball and looked at Wilson. So Fernandez gets a stolen base, his second of the night, his 25th of the season. 0-1 count on Kelly Gruber. 4-4 tie. 1 ball, 1 strike. Four runs on 4 hits in the 7th inning. Strikes to Gruber.
Gruber continues to swing at the Boston pitcher's pitches. That ball is outside by about 4 inches. He's got to be a little more patient.
Larry Anderson's 1-2 pitch, fouled back.
Something on the outside part of the plate, and Steve has to feel great about the comeback here. He's gotten a second chance to keep his club in the ball game. He'll be back out there at the bottom of the 7th.
singles and 2-hit batsmen later. Kelly Gruber fouls one into the seats. So the Blue Jays have tied this game 4-4. Second and third, 2 away. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Kelly Gruber. Missed outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runs batted in for Gruber in the month of September. And a chance to give his team the lead for the first time in the game. Another foul ball.
You can see everything Anderson's throwing is to the outside part of the plate. He simply won't throw anything inside. He likes to stay out there. It's good stuff on the outside half of the plate. The hitters have to make adjustments. Just go ahead and lean out over there and try to stroke it into right field. Mookie Wilson knew full well that he was going to get something out over the plate. Fernandez with a single off Quintana's glove. And now Gruber has to think about the outer half of the plate. Big gap in right center.
Here's Anderson's 2-2 pitch. Ground ball. Boggs up with it. High throw, and he just got it. But the Blue Jays sent 9 men to the plate in the 7th inning. 4 hits, 2-hit batsmen trailing 4-0. They've scored 4 runs. And as Gruber goes out, we go to the bottom half of the 7th inning in a 4-4 tie at Fenway Park. This is Labatt's Blue Jays baseball on TSN.
Once upon
Luis Sojo, who ran for Rance Mulliniks, stays in the ball game and will play at second base because Manny Lee was pinch hit for by Jim Eppert. Myers comes into the game for Borders, who was pinch hit for. So Cito Gaston really used up a lot of his bench, and he had to in the 7th inning. It worked for him as his team batted around and got 4 runs to tie the game. But he's not got many players left on the bench. That's the price you pay for a rally that tied the game.
You don't worry about that at the 7th inning. You got to just evaluate what you got left after that inning. You send up whatever you think might get you back in the ball game. And the key in that situation, Rance Mulliniks pinch hit single to drive in the first run of the inning.
His 8th pinch hit of the season, and the recipient of the runs, Dave Steve, who gave up 2 home runs in the last inning he worked. A solo to Boggs, a 2-run shot to Brunansky, and now Luis Rivera is the leadoff man in the bottom of the 7th inning for the Red Sox in a 4-4 tie, and Steve is once again in line to win his 19th.
He's got to feel like he's been given a gift. 4 runs in the top of the inning, and let's see how he comes at the Red Sox this inning.
Strike 1 to Rivera.
Early in the game, Steve went with a lot of fastballs after the first inning. Then when he gave up the home run to Boggs and the home run to Brunansky, he went back to the breaking ball, and the Red Sox hitters were still looking for breaking ball. They never adjusted and switched over to the fastball.
Maybe just can't believe that Steve, who is known for throwing that slider, couldn't believe that he'd stick with the fastball. He'd always go back to his old standby. 1 ball, 1 strike to Rivera.
That last pitch was a slider that Steve tried to overthrow once again, and when you do that, it'll back up on you and go back towards the hitter.
pitches, but I suspect the pitch count might go right out the window tonight. In a pennant race where Steve may not get another appearance, go with him as long as he's effective. Myers caught the ball that was just tipped by Rivera. One away.
Steve goes back to the fastball and blows it right by Rivera, who just got a piece of it, but Myers held on for the strikeout. Watch how late Rivera is. That ball is by him before he can swing at it and get it. Just got enough of it to tip it.
Rivera's out and Reed is up. One away, bottom of the seventh. John Candelaria warming up with the left-handed hitters Boggs and Greenwell. Coming up, maybe not in this inning, but soon enough.
Well, Dwayne Ward was standing behind Candelaria. He's obviously ready to go and just watching the progress of the game.
Fair ball. Long throw for Gruber makes it. Reed is out 2 away.
That's why you play close to the line late in the ball game in a tie situation to take away the extra base hit down the line. And the positioning saves Dave Steve a possible double. Look how close to the line Gruber is. He checks with the umpire, sees it's fair, and fires across the infield for the out.
2 away for Carlos Quintana as Gruber gets set. Up and in, ball 1. Quintana has singled that in the first when the Red Sox got 4 consecutive hits. He got the first of them and scored, and he's grounded out twice since then. Once to Gruber, who's ready for him now. 1 ball, 1 strike from Steve.
Set it up and then throw the slider later on in the count. He's in the driver's seat now against Quintana. Ball and 2 strikes.
Here's Steve's 1-2, fouled away.
You remember the picture we saw of Galen Cisco sitting next to Dave Steve in a dugout after he gave up the home run to Boggs and a home run to Bernansky? I imagine that conversation was, Dave, remember, you were so successful with the fastball. Let's go back out and go with it again. That's what he's done in this inning.
Here's the 1-2. Fouled away again.
That's another fastball that Quintana's behind. He's got slider speed bat right now. If Dave were to throw a slider, his bat would be right over the plate in the hitting area. But Dave's got to be able to read how Quintana's behind the fastball and stick with it. He can throw the slider out of the strike zone. That's okay.
Quintana with a base hit to right. Man aboard with 2 out, bottom of the 7th inning. Hit number 8 of Dave Steve. And a good bit of hitting by the 25-year-old Venezuelan.
This guy was hitting well up around 300 until he hurt his shoulder, and then maybe came back before he was 100%.
Cito Gaston is making a trip to the mound. Left-handed hitter Wade Boggs is at the plate. Are you okay?
Candelaria is ready. Candelaria, since coming over here, 21 1/3 innings. He's allowed 32 hits and 11 walks. He pitched in Milwaukee, and the only left-hander he really handled that well was Dave Parker. He struck out.
Steve is staying. Last time he faced Wade Boggs, who was the leadoff man in the 6th. This is what happened.
A breaking ball down on the inner half of the plate. Boggs hit his 6th home run of the season.
It was a full count that he hit out of the park. Ball 1. Strike 1-1.
If Candelaria had been more effective in Milwaukee, he would be in this situation right now.
But the Blue Jays hesitant to bring him in. Stayed with Steve after a conversation on the mound. 1-1 strike pitch. Fernandez charges it. Throws out Boggs. That ends the 7th inning. Boggs looks as though he's hurt himself as he limps around after running across first base. A single given up by Steve. That was to Carlos Quintana. He's stranded. We'll go to the 8th inning in a 4-4 tie. This is Labatt's Blue Jays baseball on TSN. Mike Boddicker cruised through his first 6, but the next third of an inning gave him all sorts of trouble. In the 7th, he was chased. He gave up 4 hits overall, 2 of them in that 7th. He hit 2 men in that inning. 3 earned runs, a couple of walks. He's out of the game after 95 pitches. Larry Anderson took over, and now Jeff Gray is on to pitch. Right-hander starts the 8th inning for the Red Sox. This pitching change is brought to you by Mark's Work Wearhouse. Our T-shirts are the tops.
The Mark's Work Warehouse work shirt.
Someone at the game tomorrow? I think I'm going to take my daughter fishing.
Of course, just because we call it a work shirt doesn't mean you can't wear it for fun.
Hey, Dad, I caught one.
Jeff Gray became the Red Sox closer when Jeff Reardon was out with an injury. Reardon is back and got a save last night for the first time since mid-July. And Gray is on to pitch in the 8th inning in a tie. Fred McGriff, 2 for 3, has hit the ball hard 3 times. He's up in the 8th.
Gray's a 2-pitch pitcher, sinking fastball and a forkball. He's done a credible job for the Red Sox. He was signed after being released by the Philadelphia Phillies this spring. Then he was sent to Pawtucket. He was called up from Pawtucket June 5th.
Foul away, ball and a strike.
As quickly as McGriff got into the slump, it looks as though he's gotten out of it just as quickly. He has shortened up his stance about 4 or 5 inches. You can see he's not so dramatically spread apart. And he's hit the ball hard 3 times tonight. He'll push back and get on that back leg just as the pitcher begins his motion.
One ball, 2 strikes. St. Louis has come back on Pittsburgh. A 4-4 tie, 4th inning. Pittsburgh leading by 3 games over the Mets in the National League East. And the Mets see a door possibly opening tonight. San Diego with the lead over Cincinnati in the 9th inning, trying to prevent the Reds from clinching. The Dodgers may still live as they play against San Francisco tonight. McGriff has his 3rd hit of the night. A leadoff single cost him a bat, but he's 3 for 4. And the go-ahead runs aboard.
And very easily could have been 4 for 4, except for a great play by Bernansky right down the middle. And Gray's lucky that that stayed only a single, because that was right in McGriff's wheelhouse. If anything, he was a little bit out in front of it. But McGriff could have easily been 4 for 4 at this point, except for a great defensive play by Tom Bernansky in right. Made a sliding catch.
Fred McGriff is an almost unbelievable 6'11" hitter in Fenway Park this year. 11 hits in 18 at-bats at Fenway. 6'11". George Bell with the bunt. Foul.
the most at-bats without a sacrifice bunt. This is very good technique. He squares around, hits it on the end of the bat, but it just trickles foul. Gaston taking advantage of having Bell up there, not being his natural self, saying, well, we'll take a shot, see if we can sacrifice him up here against the right-hander and give Olerud a shot.
4-4 tie in the 8th. Try and manufacture a run. Sound strategy. What will he do now? Gets the bunt down. Gray goes to second. And McGriff is out.
Just a bit too much towards the mound. The first one was a much better bunt that just trickled foul. This time McGriff is forced at second. On the comebacker to the mound, Bell squares around and then jabs at it. Look at him jab at it, and it goes too close to the mound. Gray, of course, expecting a bunt, got off the mound quickly and makes a strong throw to second. McGriff gets a pretty good lead. He knows it's going to be close. And with that slide, he was just trying to make sure that Bell didn't get double off first.
And he didn't, so there's a runner at first with one away for John Olerud. 0 for 3 tonight. 4-4 tie. Top of the 8th inning at Fenway Park. A 4-run 7th for the Blue Jays got them back in it. Sharply hit ball. Rivera to Reed, pulled him off the bag. Then he's bowled over by Bell. They'll get one, and lucky to get that.
Taylor made double play that Rivera rushed. Right at Rivera, hits sharply, but he rushes the throw and throws it inside the bag. Reed does a great job just to catch the ball, then pays the price. Watch Reed, see if he's on the bag when he makes his catch. Yep, he kicks it with his foot for the force out, and then Bell makes sure he has no chance to reland, but Reed saved Rivera there.
Throughout his career, albeit short, Rivera has been known for making the spectacular plays and watching the odd one that's routine. Tom Henke starting to warn. Hoping for a run to work with. And a save situation.
I would bet you that they would bring Henke in tonight without a save situation. If they need a strikeout, tie game, I wouldn't be surprised to see him work tonight.
Luis Sojo, now the second baseman, in against Jeff Gray. Ball one, John Olerud at first base. And 2 away.
Monday night in Milwaukee when he picked up his 31st save, so I would run him out there even if it's tied.
He's good for a couple of innings. Dwayne Ward still warming and ready. One ball, one strike to Luis Sojo. 1-2.
Sojo was the International League All-Star second baseman, and he was really swinging a hot bat when he first joined the Blue Jays, but because of the inactivity, he hasn't been maintained a pretty good swing at the plate. He just hasn't been able to get enough at-bats to keep something going.
2 away, runner on first. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Sojo. Foul away. When they first faced Jeff Gray back in June in Toronto, the Blue Jays beat up on him in an 11-0 win. Came in relief, pitched only a third of an inning, gave up 3 runs. But since then, he's got a measure of revenge with 3 saves against Toronto, including 2 in the series that the Red Sox won the last 3 games of late August in Toronto. Olerud with his lead. Soho wants time. There's a great difference between Boddicker, Anderson, and Jeff Gray in the tempo they set on the mound.
Gray could be the slowest guy in the American League. He really slows it down out there.
A human rain delay. Right into the glove of Wade Boggs. Over to first for the out. And that's all for the Blue Jays in the 8th. A man stranded to the bottom of the 8th in a 4-4 tie. This is Labatt's Blue Jays baseball on TSN. Dave Stieb is gone, and Dwayne Ward, who last worked on Tuesday night in Milwaukee, is on to pitch in the bottom of the 8th inning for the Toronto Blue Jays against the Red Sox in a 4-4 tie. Ward. Another appearance gets him a little closer to Bobby Thigpen. Likely won't catch him. But only Thigpen has appeared in more games this season than Ward. 71st game.
After a bit of a lull, middle of August, Ward regained his strength and the fastball came back with it. On the homestand in Toronto, he was throwing as good as I've ever seen him throw. Fastball up 95, 96 miles an hour, good sharp breaking ball, and he's been more consistent with the changeup. But he's on here trying to hold the Red Sox at bay, 4-4, bottom of the 8th inning.
First and 3 on 2 home runs in the 6th for the Red Sox. 4 runs in the 7th as the Blue Jays sent 9 men to the plate against Boddicker and Anderson in their half of the 7th inning. And a 4-4 tie as we go to the bottom of the 8th, and Ellis Burks to lead off against Dwayne Ward. Dave Stieb once again denied his 19th win of the season. 4th consecutive start without a win and stuck on 18. When he won his career high and matched it, the 17th win on September 2nd, 20 looked like a lock for Stieb. The 0-1 from Ward. 0-2 to Burks.
Sox hitters are thinking fastball, and Ward has thrown 2 breaking balls, and Burks hasn't been close. They know that Ward throws hard, and they've got to get it ready. Turn it up a notch to catch up with Dwayne Ward, but he's crossed them up with a couple of breaking balls.
Now he's got Burks 0-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The Stieb line. 7 innings, 8 hits, 4 of them in the first inning, consecutive singles. 2 earned runs, 2 unearned. An error and a home run in the 6th. Cost him dearly. But the Blue Jays got them back, and it's a tie ball game.
Overall, a pretty good outing for Dave Stieb, given the first inning where it looked like he was going to have big trouble. Got out of it with only 1 run.
Two balls, 2 strikes to Ellis Burks. Got it. One away for Dwayne Ward in the 8th inning.
This is the changeup that really has Burks out in front after seeing a couple of good hard curveballs and a real good fastball. Burks was way out in front of that changeup. pitch for Dwayne Ward.
Mike Greenwell, single struck out in a line drive caught by Mookie Wilson at center field. Strike one. Ward is pumped up and throwing hard when he snaps the fastball tonight. Nice backhander by Kelly Gruber. Long throw. McGriff can't dig it out of the dirt. Greenwell's on his way to second base.
It's automatic second base because it went into the dugout.
Even though it bounced right out, Soho got it, gunned it down to Fernandez. Greenwell is at second.
Sharply hit ground ball. Gruber makes the nice backhand grab, very similar to the play Boggs made, and then his throw is in the dirt. It skips on Freddie and stays underneath his glove, but it goes into the dugout, hits something, and caroms out. Soho believes it's still alive, but it's not. Once again, sharply hit, nice backhanded grab, but the throw is in the dirt. McGriff comes up on it and scoots on him right through his legs. Soho plays the carom, but it's inside the dugout. You can see Verdansky standing there pointing to the dugout, that it was down and in the dugout. So Greenwell is awarded second.
An error on Gruber. And the go-ahead run is at second base with one away for Dwight Evans. Evans stepped out. Ward didn't know it. Had to hold up.
The Red Sox bullpen. They've been the masters of the Rally Cap this year in a 14-inning game in Seattle. They had their hats on inside out, cups over their ears, and shaving cream all over their face on the bench. They'll do anything for a run.
And wasn't it in extra innings, Dwight Evans, who's at the plate right now, ended that game when the Rally Caps went on with a home run. One strike pitch to Evans. Gruber knocks it down. High throw, he threw it away. Greenwell scores. Red Sox lead 5-4.
Mistake was that he tried to go at the runner Greenwell. Watch him react to Greenwell. After he makes the great stop, he tries to run to Greenwell, sees he can't get him, and now he's got to rush the throw. And it takes off on him, sails over McGriff's head for Gruber's second error of the inning. Hit like a bullet. Gruber makes an outstanding play to come up with it, then tries to tag Greenwell, sees he can't get him, and has to throw late and hurried over to first.
Back-to-back errors, and the Red Sox lead 5-4. Tom Verdansky will be put on intentionally. A run-in without the aid of a hit. 3 unearned runs for the Red Sox in the ball game, and they lead 5-4.
Galen Cisco's going to go out there. You see Jeff Reardon, the closer for the Red Sox, up after the Sox have taken a 1-run lead. Galen Cisco out there to try to help Dwayne Ward gather his thoughts. Get him refocused on the situation, blank out the 2 errors, get him to think about it, getting a ground ball off the bat of Tony Pena. to remind him, you've got good stuff. You've got ground balls twice now. Just get another one and we'll get a double play and get out of the inning. The Blue Jays have come back from 4-0. Now they'll have to come back from 5-4 at least.
First and second, one away. A runner for Dwight Evans out at second base. With Tony Pena up, Jeff Stone, a September call-up, is the runner for Evans. Back-to-back errors. The Red Sox have the lead. And Ward faces Tony Pena. Strike one.
Pena's exactly what the Blue Jays need right now. He's grounded into 23 double plays this year. 24 would be sweet music for the Blue Jays.
In the ninth inning, the Blue Jays have the bottom of the order due up, but the bench is almost empty. The pinch hitters trooped out in the seventh to tie the game. Ward held on to the ball. Stone is back in at second base. The Blue Jays have the best defensive record in the American League. In fact, they've committed fewer errors than any team in the majors. But tonight have committed three unearned runs, and the Red Sox have a one-run lead. Felix makes the catch, guns the ball in, and almost got Stone getting back into second base. 2 away.
Felix knows that Stone's not going to go anywhere, but he throws it right to Tony Fernandez, who sneaks back in, and Stone just gets back in ahead of the tag. Well, the umpire was in great position right there. That's Davey Phillips, the crew chief. He was right on top of that.
First and second, 2 away. Shortstop, Louis Rivera. Ball one. Myers, Felix, and Wilson are due up for the Blue Jays in the ninth inning. Strike 1-1. Of those three, Felix and Wilson are both like leadoff men. The kind that can work aboard and try and get to the RBI men. One ball, one strike. Foul away, 1-2. This time got the runner Stone, and that's all for the Red Sox in the eighth. But they got a run without a hit. 2 errors back-to-back for the third baseman Gruber. 2 left on. Blue Jays a last chance to tie it up in the ninth, trailing 5-4. This is Labatt's Blue Jays baseball on TSN. The first game, everyone expected it would be close, and it is. And likely will be all weekend. A 1-run ball game into the ninth inning. Cito Gaston's Blue Jays trailing 5-4.
Morgan has Reardon ready in the bullpen, but he's opted to bring Jeff Gray back for the ninth. Last night he got Reardon in the game and he saved the game, and Reardon was surprised because he'd been up several times, 7th, 8th, and 9th, and he thought he was not going to pitch to Trammell. But they brought in Jeff Reardon to face Alan Trammell, and he picked up his first save since July.
But Morgan went to Gray first last night. And then when it looked like he was in trouble, went to Reardon. So Gray was the first choice and is again tonight as he faces Greg Myers. Myers up for the first time.
You can ask a lot of relievers, a lot of closers, they would like to start the inning, determine their own fate, have a little bit more margin for error.
It's been a month of ninth-inning heroics for the Blue Jays. They need a little more of that action tonight. Jeff Gray's 0-2 pitch. Fouled off. Fouled off the leg of Myers, and he's hurt. Built in 1912, has been the scene of some sensational ball games. And another tight one tonight. 0-2 to Greg Myers from Jeff Gray. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Gray is going to be down at the bottom of the strike zone, both with the sinking fastball and with the forkball. So you've got to stay on. Jeff Reardon is ready should Joe Morgan want to call upon him. And it's remarkable that Reardon has made it back. He had back surgery August 4th to repair a ruptured disc.
Worked hard in his rehabilitation. Wanted to get back badly to help the team. Got a save last night for the first time since the 20th of July. The man who's taken over as the closer is Jeff Gray, and he gets the nod from Joe Morgan tonight. With a chance to pick up the win. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Greg Myers, the leadoff man in the Blue Jays' ninth. They trail 5-4. Grant Smolnick, all he can do now is watch. Pinch hit, got a single, drove in a run, and then was pinch run 4. Here's the 2-2 to Myers. 3-2. Remember, it was 0-2 on Myers, and now Gray is coming back to it. Full count.
Myers is a low ball hitter. That's where Gray will throw it.
The 3-2 pitch to Myers. Base hit to right field. Tang runs aboard. Top of the ninth.
for Greg Myers, who's now going to be pinch run for. He was behind 0-2, took some close pitches, but gets that low fastball. You can see his groove swing as he goes right down and gets it and hammers it into right field to start the ninth for the Blue Jays.
Myers is out. Glenn Allen Hill is on to run for him. And the Blue Jays can afford to do that with the September call-ups around and Carlos Diaz around to catch. Both Borders and Myers are now out of the game. Hill's at first. Junior Felix to the plate. Felix grounded out in the 7th. And the ground ball to the shortstop brought a run home with the bases loaded.
Blue Jays were foiled on a previous sacrifice attempt. Bell forced McGriff at second.
Felix hits the ball hard to right field. It's back and gone. Home run, Junior Felix. The Blue Jays have the lead. The 14th of the season for Junior Felix. With nobody out in the 9th, a 2-run home run, and the Blue Jays have a 6-5 lead.
And Morgan is going to be roundly criticized for letting Jeff Gray pitch to Junior Felix when he had Jeff Reardon out in the bullpen. But you can see what this has done to the Blue Jays. Look at this pitch. Same pitch that Myers hit. Junior Felix hammers it into the Blue Jays bullpen. Everybody up to make the grab. And the Blue Jays have taken the lead in the top of the 9th. Look at the pitchers celebrating.
An amazing night of Blue Jay comebacks, and their 9th inning heroics continue. In the 7th tonight, trailing 4-0, they scored 4 runs, 2 of them with 2 outs. Now in the 9th, trailing by a run, Junior Felix hits the first pitch out, and nobody could be happier to see that ball leave the park than Kelly Gruber.
He's breathing much more easily now. A couple of errors. Mental mistake maybe after he made an outstanding diving stop. Tried to get the runner Greenwood going from second to third, and then rushed his throw, and now Reardon maybe one hitter too late.
You can almost hear what Joe Morgan will say in the press conference after the game, that Jeff Gray had done such an outstanding job with Reardon out, and Reardon hadn't pitched very much, that he had to go with the man who'd been his closer. But he'll be second-guessed if the Red Sox don't come back in the bottom of the 9th for not having Reardon on the mound, especially given that he got a save last night.
He used him in the Tiger game to get Alan Trammell out. He went right to Reardon, confident that Reardon could throw curveballs. Reardon, a 2-pitch pitcher, fastball, curveball. And he didn't expect to be back in this pennant race, but he's in the midst of it right now, trying to keep the lead at just 1.
So Reardon warms up. Jeff Gray is gone. A 6-5 Blue Jays lead. We'll take a short break. This is Labatt's Blue Jays Baseball on TSN. 1 pitch to the first man. Jeff Reardon faced Mookie Wilson at the plate. Chops the ball down the line. This play becomes a little more interesting as we get close to the bag. But Quintana got a piece of Wilson. 1 away. And Tony Fernandez at the plate against Jeff Reardon. 2 runs in, and the Blue Jays leading 6-5. They trailed 4-0 and tied it up in the 7th. Fell behind 5-4. An unearned run in the bottom of the 8th for the Red Sox, and a 2-run homer for Junior Felix in the 9th.
Junior against Boston up to this point had only driven in 1 run this year. Last year in June, he had a tremendous series here in Boston where he drove in 10 runs, including an inside the park grand slam. So tonight he's the hero. At least so far. We've seen so many changes now, we might have a couple more before we're finished.
strikes on Tony Fernandez from Jeff Reardon. There's the 1-2. Popped up, shallow center field. Ellis Burks makes the catch. 2 away. Joe Morgan looks to the bottom of the ninth with Jody Reed, Carlos Quintana, and Wade Boggs, the top of his order, due up. All good hitters. Cito Gaston will look to the pen and Tom Henke to get rid of them. Here's Gruber, who's 0 for 3 with a walk. A 15-game hitting streak on the line.
Reardon's really thrown the ball well. He's got good velocity on his fastball. He had mentioned earlier that he didn't think he'd be 100%. He's throwing pretty good. There's another good fastball.
And another play for Ellis Burks, who got a late start on it, but made the catch. 3 straight retired with ease for Jeff Reardon. But the damage was done before Joe Morgan went to the pen and got it. A single and a 2-run home run on Jeff Gray. And the Blue Jays have the lead for their stopper. The Terminator is on with a 6-5 lead to the bottom of the ninth. This is Labatt's Blue Jays baseball on TSN. On a strange night with a couple of great comebacks for the Blue Jays, they have a 6-5 lead and hand the ball to the Terminator, their closer Tom Henke.
First time Henke's been in a game since Monday night in Milwaukee when he saved his 31st game. He had plenty of time to get loose. He was up last, and it looked like the Blue Jays might take the lead.
Junior Felix, the hero so far. 14th home run, a 2-run shot after a Greg Myers single. And the Blue Jays have the lead, but the top of the order is up. Jody Reed 0 for 4 to face Henke. Down into left field, hit by a fan, foul.
That was awfully close. I think the fan was leaning over the field. Watch the call down the line. Look at the fan's hands over the field. Very close down there, but it would have hooked foul before it hit the ground anyway, but he was well over the field.
Hooking towards the wall, and he not touched it. It probably would have gone in there against the wall. Sore hands for the man in the glasses. Inside ball and a strike from Henke to Reed. What a night. Heat of a pennant race in a chilly September night. A 1-run ball game full of all sorts of mysterious happenings.
This is a Fenway ball game. Home runs, misplays, good pitching at times, and you can't relax until the final out.
To Reed. 3 balls and a strike. Reed trying to work his way aboard on this 3-1 count. Whole pile of good hitters behind him. Here's the 3-1 from Henke. Tying runs on.
Al Bunbury giving instructions to Jody Reed about watching the signs from third base coach Rock Slider. They'll watch together to make sure they get the right sign.
Conference on the mound. Carlos Diaz now doing the catching. Out to speak with Tom Henke.
A lot going on here tonight as the Red Sox try to battle back 1 run down. Quintana's a pretty good bunter for a big guy.
Squares to bunt and get it down. It's a strike.
Now the Red Sox have the option of switching off. Quintana singled through the right side of the infield in the 7th inning.
And in the first.
He can handle that pack. Good runner at first in Reed. Oh, they're going to bunt again.
One ball, one strike now.
If you take the bunt on in this situation with Gruber and McGriff charging so hard, that's the corners. Any kind of ground ball will get by them. Plus the hole you create at second base when Soho leaves to cover first. That throw to first just allowed the infielders to see Quintana square around. So he's going to bunt again. Henke breaks straight off the mound. Gruber charges hard from third. McGriff does the same from first. They're trying for the force out at second.
Here come the fielders at the corner. Gruber goes to first. His only play, the ball was so high in the air. And Reed, representing the tying run, is at second base with one away. Quintana caught a break there.
He certainly did, because the Blue Jays were charging so hard. Anything else, and it's a force out at second, but he got the break. Cito gassed it out quickly to talk things over with the Terminator. No change here, just ask him who he wants to pitch to. Boggs, lifetime against Henke. 500. Tough to put Boggs on. He represents the winning run.
Decision is made. Henke to pitch to Wade Boggs with Jody Reed at second base. Ball one. Henke knows exactly what he's facing in the man at the plate.
Wade's just a good hitter. I mean, you can't pitch him any one way. You've got to mix up all your different pitches, change speeds on him. I think you can get him out early and then go away late. That's the book on him. But you just got to mix it up and change speeds.
In early, away late. Right there, he tried to crowd him with the fastball. He hit a home run off Steve on a breaking pitch down and in. Right now, he's thinking about his percentage base hit, and that's to left field, left center.
2-0. Fouled away.
That's that patented inside-out swing. Just trying to shoot it over the shortstop's head. Look at him talking to himself. Stay back, stay back. Don't jump out there. Great concentration. What a confrontation here. Henke against Boggs. Tying run at second.
6-5 Blue Jays. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, bottom of the 9th.
This is what has made Boggs a .350 lifetime hitter. Look at that swing. Head down on the ball, trying to shoot it into left field. Not over swinging, not trying to do anything more than get a base hit. Look at him. Stay back. Stay back. Don't jump out there.
Hankey's 2-2 pitch. High and away, full count. And agile Carlos Diaz got up in a hurry to make the catch. Full count, 1 out. Boggs is on. Better that than a base hit, I suppose. Cito Gaston might well be thinking.
I'm surprised that they might have thought about using Ducey defensively in left field to start the 9th inning. Bell in his first game back playing with a 1-run lead. Look at the concentration. Watches it right there. All the way back. Watching the ball in the glove hand. All the way back to the mound. Great concentration. Tremendous focus.
2 on, 1 out. Ellis Burks at the plate. Ball 1. Hankey walked Reed. Quintana with a sacrifice. Boggs has walked.
Remember, one liability in the outfield right now is the throwing arms of Bell and Mookie Wilson. They're not blessed with strong arms.
Two balls, no strikes.
This is a good visit by Diaz. He saw Hankey really fall off the mound towards first base, and he immediately went out there to remind him right towards home plate. Don't try to overthrow it. Remember, Hankey hasn't pitched since Monday. But Diaz is a very good defensive catcher. Picked up on that right away.
Here's the 2-0 pitch. Base hit. Bell's up with the ball. Runner is held. Jody Reed held at third base as Bell got the ball in. The bases are loaded with 1 away, and the Jays lead by a run.
Burks hit it so hard right at George Bell that Rack Slider holds the runner at third. This ball is crushed by Fernandez. Gets to Bell in a hurry, and Bell makes a nice, clean play. Jody Reed, the runner from second base, has to wait just a second. Now watch him pick up the third base coach. Right there. Stop right there, Jody. You have to stop short here because the third baseman can sneak back there. Bell's made 2 pretty good defensive plays in left tonight.
Now the other tough left-handed batter. Mike Greenwell. Inside, Diaz has got it. Ball 1. Bases loaded, 1 out, and a Blue Jay 1-run lead. Hankey needs what he's famous for now, the strikeout.
Diaz is a very good defensive catcher, put in a pressure cooker here tonight.
Base hit. Reed scores. Boggs is held up at third base, but the ball is overthrown. It bounces. A friendly bounce off the side wall to Hankey, and Boggs can't move up. Tie game.
That very easily could have gone into the seats and it would have ended the game. Boy, the Blue Jays kind of break there, at least for the time being. Junior Felix playing in right field. Greenwell comes up with another clutch hit. Scores Reed to tie the game. Now watch Felix throw. Takes off on him, slips out of his hand, sails over Diaz's head, but watch it hit the low fence behind home plate. That fence is only 4 feet high. Hankey expects somebody to be at home. Another look at it. The grass is damp. It slips out of Felix's hand and sails way over Carlos Diaz, all the way back to the wall. That very easily could have skipped right into the seats, and it would have been game, set, and match.
That wall's not very high, but it stayed in. Bases loaded. Infield's in. So are the outfielders. 6-6 tie. 1 out. Jeff Stone Stone is the batter. He pinch hit or pitch ran for Evans in the 8th inning. A foul ball, strike one. What a night of comebacks.
Everybody's playing in. Outfielders are very shallow. They've got to make sure they can throw out the runner from third. It's Wade Boggs.
The Red Sox win it. They're up by a game.
His first hit of the year with the Red Sox, and it couldn't have been bigger. Tom Henke on to save it in the 9th. Walked Jody Reed to start the inning. Quintana put down a perfect bunt. Wade Boggs walked. Then Burke singled the left. Greenwell singled the right. The Blue Jays dodged the bullet when Junior Felix's throw stayed in the ballpark, but then Jeff Stone came up with the game winner.
He was the top pinch hitter at the AAA level in Pawtucket this season for the Red Sox. And he gets a big hit here, the biggest of his career. The September column wins it for the Red Sox. Boggs scores 7-6 Sox and a one-game lead in the heated battle of the American League East. This is Labatt's Blue Jays baseball on TSN.
There is one major financial institution that listens to your needs, that provides you with the personal service you're entitled to. National Trust. Make us the turning point in your financial future.
Now it's time for the TSN Turning Point, brought to you by National Trust. Bottom of the 9th. 6-6 tie, bases loaded, infield in, outfield in. Jeff Stone, an 11-year pro, in his first at-bat in September with the Red Sox, gets the hit that scores Wade Boggs that won the ball game. The Red Sox have a 9th inning comeback to take the lead in the American League East, courtesy Jeff Stone. A cash donation will be made to the Coaching Association of Canada for the training and development of Canadian coaches in amateur sport. On behalf of TSN and National Trust, our business is financial service. Red Sox 7, the Blue Jays 6 in Game 1 of the showdown in the American League East. This is Labatt's Blue Jays baseball on TSN.
Young guys like Junior Felix.
Olerud. I thought I liked Fernandez.
That's right. I'm the same.
Oh, yes, we do.
I like Bell, but Gruber's one of the better players.
You gotta love Mookie.
We love you, Blue Jays.
And I like to see Teddy Gruber swing his hips.
That's right. I'm the same.
Labatt's Blue salutes the Blue Jays for the way they play.
Blue Jays baseball on TSN, brought to you by Labatt's Blue, the clean, true taste of Canada, and proud sponsor of Labatt's Blue Pits. From the major leagues to neighborhood diamonds, it's the way we play. By Esso Retailers and Imperial Oil, you're on your way with Esso. And by your local bottler of Coca-Cola Classic, you can't beat the real thing. An evening of comebacks, and the Boston Red Sox have taken a one-game lead in the American League East with a come-from-behind 7-6 9th inning win over the Blue Jays. The closers figured in the decision, but neither got a save. Jeff Reardon beat Tom Henke. The Labatt's player of the game for the Blue Jays tonight is Junior Felix, whose 2-run home run gave the Jays a short-lived lead in the 9th inning. The Labatt's player of the game for the Red Sox is 29-year-old Jeff Stone in his first at-bat in September got a base hit that won the ball game, an unlikely hero on a night of unlikely events. A cash donation will be made to the Canadian Special Olympics on behalf of Felix Stone, Weed Eater, and Cannon. A selection of fine gifts is presented to all Blue Jay pitchers from the Industrial Tool Division of Black & Decker. No company builds better power tools for professionals. And Mark's Work Wearhouse, our t-shirts on the tops. Join us for our next Blue Jay telecast on Monday night at 7:30 Eastern when the Blue Jays take on the Orioles in Baltimore. Our next Expo telecast comes up on Saturday night at 7:30 Eastern when the Philadelphia Phillies visit the Montreal Expos. For Buck Martinez, this is Jim Houston. Thanks for watching Blue Jays Baseball from Fenway Park.
I use Danny Heaton and Phil Plantier since they've been facing live pitching, and I haven't. And stuff. So I look back when I go out to the plate, and Joe just wait and just told me to go ahead and hit.
Now, at that point, were you thinking they might have a bit of a sacrifice play or a suicide squeeze?
I was looking for a suicide squeeze in that situation. On the first pitch, he didn't give it to me, so I was just looking for a fastball. And when I step out on the second pitch, he didn't give it to me again, and I was surprised, Tom threw me another fastball. I'm just glad I caught him when he went on his best night. He on his best night, I probably no way I'll probably touch him then.
Well, that's great. It was quite an outing for you and a thrill of a lifetime, I guess.
It was a thrill of a lifetime. It got to be the highlight of my career. I'm just glad I came through in that situation.
Jeff, good luck to you. We'll maybe see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Jeff Stone, the big hero tonight. Of course, he got the game-winning hit as the Red Sox win game number 1, 7-6. Jim?
Bill, we can see that they clear out of Fenway in a hurry because the lights are all out. You've seen many a Blue Jays sad loss like the one tonight. How does the scene in the dressing room tonight compare with some of those other frustrating losses over the years?
Really, it's not much difference at all, Jim, because as usual, the dressing room is quiet. Not too many guys are talking, and they're just going about their business, getting dressed, leaving it. They say, hey, it's over. We can't do anything about it. There's no use worrying about it. Let's go back and get them tomorrow.
How would you rate this loss as compared to some of those other ones over the years?
Well, this one could have gone either way. I mean, let's face it, the Blue Jays gave up 3 unearned runs, and were still in a position to win it going into the bottom of the ninth. They had to be fortunate to be that. What I want to talk about, though, is the Roger Clemens story. Nobody knows for sure if he's going to pitch tomorrow. The word is Clemens will warm up, then they'll make a determination whether or not, in fact, he will pitch the game tomorrow. They're going to wait that long. If he doesn't go, the chances are it'll be Joe Hesketh starting for the Red Sox against Todd Stottlemyre.
Sounds like tomorrow could be even worse than tonight. Thanks a lot, Bill. We'll hear from you the rest of the weekend.
Thank you,
As far
Jim.
as the pitching matchup for tomorrow goes, as Bill said, Roger Clemens, we don't know about him. They're going to warm him up and see what
Canadian
happens.
Sport Fishing, Tuesday on TSN.
Today, the series that should decide the American League East gets underway in Boston. The New York Mets take on the Cubs in their pursuit of first place in the National League East. And the Winnipeg Blue Bombers hope to stop the Eskimos' 16-game regular season home winning streak.
Sports Desk with Chris Edens and Gord Miller.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Sports Desk. Also coming up in the next half hour, a look at the NHL's drug policy following the Grant Fuhr suspension. And Ben Johnson gets the green light to compete for Canada at the 1992 Summer Olympics. But first, the showdown in Boston, the Blue Jays against the Red Sox, Fenway Park.
The one we've all been waiting for, Chris. As far back as June, baseball fans have been looking forward to this series. And Friday night, the Blue Jays fielded the lineup that fans saw earlier in the year. George Bell back in left field for the first time in a month. Junior Felix in right, and John Olerud back at DH. Cito Gaston may have agonized over those moves, but there was no question about the pitching. Dave Stieb went to the mound against Mike Boddicker in the all-important first game of this series. Pick up the action at Fenway. Mike Boddicker gets into a jam in the first. Jays have runners at first and third with one away. Fred McGriff lines it to right, but Tom Brunansky makes a great catch, and the Blue Jays come up empty-handed. The first inning is no better for Dave Stieb. Boston hits 4 consecutive singles. One of the 4 produces a run. Ellis Burks cashes in Carlos Quintana, and it's 1-0 in favor of Boston. Bottom of the 6th inning now. Wade Boggs leads it off for Boston. This is a rare sight. A Boggs home run. Doesn't do this much, but he does it here. His 6th homer of the year is a solo shot, 2-0 in favor of the Red Sox. Then, after a Tony Fernandez error puts Ellis Burks on, Brunansky takes Stieb deep. Dead center field. Mookie Wilson can only stand and admire it. 2-run shot, and it's 4-0 in favor of the Red Sox. The Jays, though, come back in the 7th inning with 2 on and 1 away. Rance Mulliniks in to pinch hit, and he comes through again. Fred McGriff scores, and the Boston lead is cut to 4-1. That's all for Boddicker. He is relieved by Larry Anderson. Jays now trail 4-3. Tony Fernandez with a ground ball off the glove of Quintana. Junior Felix scores to tie it. The Jays send 9 to the plate in the inning and even it up at 4 apiece. 8th inning, bad news for Kelly Gruber. His error puts a runner in scoring position. Dwight Evans, the ground ball to third. Gruber stabs it, doesn't make the tag, and then throws it away. His 2nd error of the inning. Greenwell scores 5-4 Bo Sox. Top of the 9th now, none out. 1 on for Junior Felix. He jumps all over this Jeff Gray pitch and hits it, about 383 feet. A 2-run homer. Jays lead 6-5. Bottom of the 9th. Tom Henke on. Bases loaded. Greenwell singles. Jody Reed scores and ties the game at 6. The next batter is Jeff Stone. Hitless this year in the major leagues. He comes through. Wade Boggs comes across and brings in the winning run. And the Bo Sox win a thriller 7-6 over the Blue Jays. Tom Henke takes the loss, dropping to 2-3 on the year. The Jays have now lost 3 in a row as the Red Sox take a 1-game lead in the American League East. Our Gino Reda is in Boston and has more on tonight's game.
So Junior Felix 2-run homer in the top of the 9th inning goes for naught, because the hero in this game is a designated hitter for the Boston Red Sox, Jeff Stone. Nice to wear the hero label tonight?
Yeah, it's nice to wear it tonight. I probably won't get too much sleep tonight. Just seeing that base hit going to the outfield, I'll probably go to bed dream about that hit.
Well, I just didn't throw the ball well. Layman's terms, I stunk. Wasn't a good outing, but you know, I didn't win anything for him. We just got to forget about it and go back out and win tomorrow night and win the same position now.
So Game 1 of the American League East Series goes to the Boston Red Sox. Game 2, Saturday afternoon. It's Todd Stottlemyre pitching against Roger Clemens. And according to Stottlemyre, he doesn't mind facing Clemens.
First of all, I don't have to hit against him, and he didn't have to hit against me. So whoever, you know, decides to show up tomorrow, it really makes no difference to me. And the way it sounds around the club doesn't make any difference to them. No matter who goes to the mound, we have to try to beat them and have to try to score more runs than they do. And no matter if it's Roger Clemens or who it is.
Well, with the Blue Jays and Red Sox hogging the spotlight in the American League East Division, and the Oakland A's offer.
You're looking for Hitachi, for exceptional performance.
This is CFTO TV in stereo, Channel 9 in Toronto, Cable 8.
The following is a special presentation of CTV Sports.